Being politically correct should never be more important than the lives of soldiers protecting freedoms. The people who push for gender equality in the military are not actually pursuing true gender equality, but rather gender favoritism. This causes backlash within the troops, reducing their effectiveness. In fact, by pushing for the integration of women into more combat roles, these advocates are risking their own freedoms. Simply put, the physical requirement standards should not be lowered for women because the safety of millions of Americans should not be jeopardized by unqualified soldiers only serving to satisfy a quota. There is no doubt that women have made amazing contributions to society, but there is also no doubting the fact that women are inherently physically weaker than men, thus potentially putting fellow soldiers in harm's way. Many studies have been done providing irrefutable evidence stating that women are weaker physically than men. As said by Dean and Professor of the Institute of World Politics, the average female soldier, sailor, airman, and marine is about 5 inches shorter than her male counterpart, has half upper body strength, lower aerobic capacity, and 37% less muscle mass. In every aspect of the physical body, women tend to be significantly weaker than their male counterparts. Furthermore, according to Marine Corps Times, initial results from their study showed that male teams outperformed and had lower rates of injury than mixed units. The physiological differences are not only apparent in the studies done, but are even more noticeable in the battlefield, especially in times of crisis. When a soldier's life is on the line, he or she will not care what gender the person is or the fact that women are finally integrated into the military, but rather, only if this person is physically capable of bringing him or her to safety. The purpose of the military is to protect, and every event is required to satisfy this objective. Soldiers must also rely on physical strength to overpower enemies in close-quarter combat situations. As journalist Jared Taylor states, your buddies count on you to carry them out of the fight if they are wounded, and they can't count on someone with half the upper body strength of a man. It is unfair to soldiers serving to place their lives in the hands of someone who simply does not deserve to be there in the first place. Stated by former U.S. Army captain, I do not want my son forced into a job where he's at a greater risk because those serving alongside him are disproportionately taxed physically. It is a disservice to the brave individuals to put their lives and well-being beneath the forced integration of women into the military to be more politically correct. Women may be able to drive 5-ton trucks, but need a man's help if they must change a tire. Women can be assigned to a field artillery unit, but often can't handle the ammunition. Women are certainly able to do some basic backfield tasks, but when trouble rises that require physical strength, they depend on their male counterparts to aid them. While the natural differences between men and women can directly risk the lives of active soldiers, it can also cause severe backlash within the troops, further reducing their efficiency. The effectiveness of an infantry depends heavily on the relationship of the soldier within it, and this can be sabotaged by women getting equal treatment for unequal results. The male soldiers will feel discouraged by the fact that they need to get greater results in order to have the same treatment as their female counterparts. According to a U.S. Army report on the integration and performance of women at West Point, Navy women can achieve the minimum score on the physical readiness test by performing 11% fewer sit-ups and 53% fewer push-ups, and by running 1.5 miles 27% slower than men. These lower standards are a necessity to allow women to serve in the military and will evidently cause backlash against the women in the infantry. Male soldiers will question the logic behind the fact that the people they will complete missions with are able to do so with lower requirements. John Luddy of the Heritage Foundation wrote that, in fact, women have been banned from combat in Israel since 1950, when a review of the 1948 Arab-Israeli War showed how harmful their presence can be. This is not saying that women should not be in the military at all, but it is showing that women can be a detriment to the combat aspect of the military. Even if the inclusion of women into the military caused no emotional conflicts, their addition does not improve the fighting force of the military, so there is truly no reason to push for the integration. Brigadier General George Smith has claimed, the realities of combat aren't going to change based on gender, so why change the reality of the military? Not only do the natural differences between the genders cause issues, but the close-quarter nature of barracks cause prohibited sexual tension between soldiers. When women are more easily able to leave their stations due to sickness or pregnancy, the men are forced to increase their own workload, causing further resentment and a less cooperative fighting force. When the male soldiers feel as if they're not getting the same benefits as the women soldiers are receiving, a lot of resentment can occur within the supposedly close-knit infantries. In fact, women are 4 times more likely to report ill, and the percentage of women being medically not available at any time is twice that of men. If a woman can't do her job, someone else must do it for her. Women are more prone to injuries and illness and are also susceptible to pregnancies, which obviously remove them from the battlefield for a long period of time. The Washington Times reports that for every year a co-ed worship is at sea, 16% of the female contingent must be airlifted out as their pregnancies become advanced. When men and women who are in top physical condition and are raging with hormones are kept in close proximity, sex is bound to happen. These soldiers are in a life or death situation, and they need to be entirely focused on the training so they can be the most powerful they can be. Those who have opposing views may believe that because women are at such a disadvantage physically, there should be lower physical requirements to allow them to serve in more combat positions. While doing so may make sense in a more conventional workplace, the military certainly is not conventional. The military should simply not be held to the same values as society because they are very different purposes. The forced integration of women into the military is not fair to the men who are required to perform better for equal placement, and they put the people they are protecting below political correctness. Lowering physical standards to diversify the military to satisfy people who never experience war should not come before the safety of Americans the military is trying to protect. In addition, lowering physical requirements to encourage female involvement will negatively influence the effectiveness of the military due to their physical disadvantages as well as the frustration they can cause due to lower requirements. The U.S. government spends billions of dollars on national defense every year and disputes the need for every new piece of technology in the military, yet for some reason disregards this careful approach when it comes to allowing women into the military.